you ready, Yako? Please join me in welcoming our next Citizenship Award recipient, 6th grade student, Yako Perlov. With us this evening are members of Yako's family. Yako, will you introduce the members of your family to us? By name.
So this is my mother, Anne-Marie. And that's my father, Scott. And that's my grandfather, Frank.
During my interview with Yako, I began to realize what a unique person I was about to encounter, because his poise and demeanor was that of a person many years his senior. But I will admit, I had no idea of how outstanding this young man really is at this point in his life. I hope I can convey to you folks a sense of what I found in interviewing him. In answer to the question, who's your favorite teacher, Yako came back without hesitation. I have 7 favorites. And he proceeded to name them all as though they were not only his teachers, but his personal friends. Pinned down, I asked him why a particular one was his favorite, and with a little pressure, he said, Miss Miller, his math teacher, and that was his choice, but it wasn't easy for him to decide. Miss Miller is his favorite because of the interesting ways she uses various mediums to make her points. Asked about his favorite subject, Yako came back with math. But then he realized his interest in the Spanish language was competing with his math interest. Asked why the interest in Spanish, he said, it feels good in the Spanish language. Said he sees this language very important as it's spoken in many countries, many of which he has already visited in his young life. Kudos to Grandpa for making travel a part of his cousins' early lives, Grandpa. Scholastically, Yako holds an A's and A+ in all his subjects. To some degree, he feels he's popular among his classmates because of the breadth of his academic interests. They've given him a nickname, which he shared with me, called
The Yorks!
You may wonder where he decided that was a good name to be called. But Grandpa I met earlier is wearing a jacket with the words, the Yaks. I asked him how academic success can make one popular. His response was that he readily helps fellow students when they're struggling with a topic from any one of their classes. And through this experience, he discovered in himself that he likes teaching among many of his interests. As to extracurricular, Yako picked up the cello in the 5th grade and now enjoys playing it in the 7th grade orchestra. He received the Most Dedicated Award as chosen by members of the orchestra. In the realm of outside interest, Yako started playing piano 5 years ago and now plays classical piano. I'll divert for a minute. He offered to play a piece for me while I was at the interview with him. And I was stunned. I thought I was in Carnegie Hall. This gentleman can really play the piano, classical piano. I forget the piece that you played for me.
It's called the Rachmaninoff Prelude.
Wow.
Prelude in G minor.
Yes. I was hoping we could wheel a piano in here for the break time, just to have you guys hear this. But there's one so far in the back, and I don't know if I could take a trip across the building without falling apart. Okay. Yako's hobbies include practicing magic tricks and tricks using playing cards. In his own words, using his hands to play the piano gives him a great dexterity needed to perform tricks with cards. He also considers karate as a hobby, which incidentally he's been doing for the past 5 years. He now holds a 3rd-degree brown belt and plans to test for his black belt this October. So don't fool with him. His community involvement reaches in several directions, helping to teach karate at his dojo, helping other piano students with their playing, speaking at Boulder City Council on city parks as a representative of his school grade. And he plans to speak on this subject once again this summer. Tell us about what the city council wants to know about parks.
Oh, well, I don't really know much about the city council as much. It's more of a something I was invited into without not much knowledge of it. I don't know what to say. I'm sorry about that.
No apologies necessary. Okay. So, what he's willed to happen in his life so far, one would have to ask plans for his future. I say willed because this young man has the willpower when he sets his mind on doing something to get it done, and done thoroughly. Quite an attribute for a young man at this age. When asked, he mentioned that he can look at his future in life in 3 time frames: the immediate, the near future, and the adult life he looks to have. Pretty good perspective there. Long term, he sees possibilities in several career fields, which include being a pianist, an astrophysicist, a cellist, a magician, and a martial artist. College is very much in his future plans, where he hopes to attend the Juilliard School of Music and/or Stanford. Asked why he thinks he was chosen to win this award, he commented it might be for the enthusiasm he shows in all areas of his interests. He speaks in terms of becoming the best he can be in every endeavor. At the same time, he has great respect for those helping him to form his life interests, beginning with his mom and dad, his grandfather, his cousins, and teachers whom he loves and cherishes. Join me in congratulating Yako for being chosen to receive this award as an outstanding citizen.